Oh hey, it's Nombley with Game of the Week. And we are on the next episode of rating every dungeon in Final Fantasy XIV. And we're going to get into that real quick. I just wanted to say the last episode has quickly become one of the most viewed things I've ever put on my channel. I just want to say, you know, thank you. And I am super grateful to anyone who's subscribed because of it, and hopefully, you know, you'll enjoy everything else that comes as well. Alright, so let's not take too much long and, you know, get into the stuff that people are actually here for. Here are the rules, and then we'll go directly into the next 5 ARR dungeons. Yay! Alright, so I'm gonna redo the scoring system so everything is clear. This is how the points work. We got 6 points for bosses, we got 3 points for design, 3 points for mechanics, then we got music, which is obvious, level design, which is like the layout, is it one hallway, does it have cool stuff to look at, you know, stuff like that. The next thing is trash monsters, which deals with like monster density and if you have to do anything other than just hit them. Finally, we have difficulty, which is the weirdest one to gauge because it's not actually about how hard the dungeon is. Each dungeon starts with a 1.0 in difficulty, and then it loses points for being too easy at some points or too annoying or hard at other points. Difficulty is really akin to like fun, and it'll probably be changed after the final dungeon in the next episode. So the points will still be the same, it's just a different name. Okay, on to the dungeons. Alright, we're back with Haukke Manor, and I used to call this place Haukke Manor, because I'm Canadian, and then American friends made fun of me, so now I call it Haukke Manor. It's got this pretty stained glass window thing at the beginning, and the music is overbearing the sound of the rest of the dungeon, so that's a thing. So yeah, you have to kind of go in this side corridor first because there's a tiny key, and it's another one of those early ARR dungeons where you're picking stuff up and putting them in other stuff. And carpet stains, I don't know why we're being attacked by dirt. But yeah, these things, the manor maidservants, you'll see them in another second here. I always thought you needed this tiny key here too, but apparently you don't. But yeah, you see they put up these big circle things, but you just make your tank stun them and ignore it. Or if you're a melee who isn't me, you can also stun it. But yeah, you kill this trash, you go and you fight the boss, who's the Manor Claviger. I don't know what that word means, but she's a succubus, and all she does is target somebody with a fire too, and then she does this other AoE, Dark Mist. But yeah, if you get hit by these like Dark Mist things, by any of the succubus, they terrorize you for a few seconds. And then you take this key and you go back the way you came, even though the door in front of you opened. It's stupid. So yeah, you go down here, and once you go down, I used to go to the edge to drop down, but I guess people just jump right in now because there's no bees or anything on the stairs anymore. I guess there's a tiny key in that room, and the trash in this hallway isn't actually too bad, right? It's like 6 or 7 monsters. It's pretty good. You can get your AoE on, and then you continue down the hall, and you gotta open this door because there's a yellow key in here. Because apparently the people in Haukke Manor are like me and don't know what each key does, so you gotta color code them. Anyways, the healer goes and gets the key, and we kill some skelly boys that are hanging out in there with the key. You open the door and you got these 2 trash bosses, which it looks interesting because there's 2 bosses in this room, but no, they're just regular enemies that, like, this thing can cast ice spikes and then you'll hurt yourself if you melee it, but it just dies super fast. And thank fuck they added this stupid ethereal flow thing in here, because I used to always have to use my teleport home, my return, and then they added that in so you don't have to cast return to get back here. And then you have this eyeball, and he's the guy who taunted you at the beginning of the dungeon. And you just get him to 50% and then he opens the door like a good boy. And once you get in here, you fight another succubus lady. They keep doing this thing where the first boss and the last boss are the same boss model. It's so annoying. But yeah, she used to have this thing where there were like lamps in the corners and then you had to click the lamps, but nobody new to the game knew to click the lamps, so they changed the boss entirely. Now she does like 2 things. She teaches you how to look away from eye directed AoEs, and then she does Dark Mist again. You just run away from it. I think you can still stun it if you're a tank, I'm not sure. ILB, at one point she summons like another mini succubus, and then yeah. Anyways, the first boss is fine. The second boss is just garbage, it's trash. Final boss is very even. Music in here is kind of boring, but you know, it's fine. Trash pulls are fine. Layout is fine. You're in a big manor. Difficulty 0.5. It's not a hard dungeon. It's nothing notable at all. It's a 4.6 out of 10. That's almost a 5. Haukke Manor is almost a mid experience. We're gonna get there eventually. I believe it. Okay, next in line is Brayflox Longstop. I think that's what it's called, right? Brayflox Longstop. It's gonna come up in a second, right? Oh, look, a dragon. I think there's a dragon in this dungeon. You've probably been here before. Anyways, it's very pretty. You see you're in a jungle kind of thing, and you know, there's flowers and a nice big trash pull at the entrance here with these annoying little monkey things that always stand too far away from the tank and throw rocks. Anyways, you gotta go to the left here so you can get a key from a goblin, and that's kind of annoying because it's out of the way. They should just let you like click the door open anyways. Anyways, this first trash pull is actually pretty juicy. If you got a tank that's not using cooldown, if you got a healer who's not keeping up, then this will absolutely kill you if you don't have enough people on the ball. Anyways, you go through this gate, and this is the first boss already. I'm looking for the key because I didn't see anybody pick it up, but I guess it's in the next one. But anyways, it's this pelican thing, and we're getting DDoSed again, so you can see the healers already disconnecting. For some reason, the DDoS is hitting the healers real bad. But yeah, all this thing does is it poisons the tank with its attacks, and then it summons 3 ads, but you kill it before the stupid ads come up, as you see. So it's done. Anyways, the music in here is kind of nice. It's kind of like, it reminds me of like Final Fantasy XI zone music. Anyways, we skipped the trash entirely from the other area. This is another tank that's like, I want to get out of here as soon as possible. So we just pull the trash all the way into the second boss. The second boss, all this guy does is, I think he does like a few fire AoE cones at the tank, and then he summons another lizard that chases a goblin. And you have to kill, yeah, there's the other lizard. He's chasing our buddy Brayflox. Anyways, you kill the big one, and then you kill the little one. It's just a trash fight. Like he hasn't even done any fires. He's just autoing the whole time. Just what is this? This is not a boss. Anyways, we kill the trash, we go into this next area. This next area used to be awesome, alright? You could take several different routes. You could go through the water on the right, you could go through the water on the left, you could take the dangerous path through the middle and get aggro from both sides and probably die. But they took it out on the right. You can't run through the water anymore. It sucks, but listen, the trash pulls in here, they're pretty decent. All of them are like 6 to 7 mobs or more. Anyways, this is the next boss, and he's like a salamander guy. And this thing, Peculiar Light, you don't have to get out of that, okay? It doesn't damage you. It just gives you magic vuln up, or you take more damage from magic. Anyways, he's supposed to put stuff in a bubble, and then if the person doesn't get out of the bubble, they die. Anyways, you don't even get to kill the boss because the dragon comes down and eats him. But anyways, we're in the next trash pack. This open area in the front. Also, there's this weird kind of coral, I think, on the left-hand side that pats. They might have removed it, but this guy just takes the trash pack right into the boss again, because apparently that's what we do in ARR dungeons now, is we take the trash into the bosses. Alright, so this guy used to be awesome. He used to like force tanks to think. You don't have to think in this fight anymore. You just don't stand in the areas that glow orange. Alright, as long as you don't do that, you won't die. But before, he used to drop these like puddles of like poison on the ground, and it would hurt you and heal him if he was in it or you were in it. So you used to have to like kite him around the room so that he wouldn't get healed. But now it's just a trash fight. You just don't stand in the orange and you don't die, okay? That's all it is. And I don't like it, even though the boss is really cool. Alright, so my score reflects that. The pelican boss is stupid. The lizard boss is stupid. Alright, the dragon at the end is really cool, but the mechanics are not good anymore. The music is kind of bumping, but like it's too quiet and repetitive, and it doesn't feel goblin-y enough to me. The trash gets more points because it's good trash in here. It's good, alright? The layout design is just kind of a normal dungeon. You're in a jungle, it's just normal. Difficulty is very average dungeon again. And it was 3.6 out of 10. We fell off after Haukke Manor, but hopefully we'll be back on the uptick, but we'll see. Alright, this next one is Qarn. Q-A-R-N, Sunken Temple of it. Sunken Temple of Qarn. It is a ruin, okay? I don't know the lore behind this place or why we're here. I just know that we're here, and I've been to this place a whole lot. I used to hate this place. I didn't know you could do this. Apparently you could run around this first trash pack and not fight it. I didn't know that was a thing until this very first. Right, so anyways, the next trash pack is not bad. It's pretty decent, but like there's supposed to be like temple bees in these fights that like if they get final sting off from like Final Fantasy 11, it does a whole lot of damage, and if you're not careful, it will absolutely kill your tank. And I don't mean just does heavy damage, because I came in here on like a 90 paladin at one point and got final stung by bees, and it one-shot me. It does percent health. Anyways, there's a head back there. You kill it, it gives you a chest. Anyways, this is what you call a Territor, and these were also in Final Fantasy 11. They were in one of the Chains of Promathia areas, but this boss is a lot easier than people typically like treat it. If you have a stun, okay, well, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself, but yeah, he summons these bees. They also use Final Sting if they don't die fast enough. Anyways, he's got this raid wide called Mortal Ray. You saw it, right? And what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to go to the glowy platform so that you don't die. But the thing is, if you're a tank, the moment he starts casting Mortal Ray, you can stun it, and then he won't do it at all. And then you just ignore it for the rest of the fight, because of how fast he dies now. Especially if you're a paladin, you just shield bash it. And I know people are gonna tear my head off for even having shield bash on my bar, but I don't care, it's useful sometimes. Anyways, these head things, the only way they'll die is if they die on top of the square thing that they spawned on. And these two head things are supposed to open the doors on either side, because there's like this big puzzle thing in this dungeon, right? Most people ignore it. Anyways, this is the next boss. He's the Temple Guardian. He's a big stone boy, and he's got a stone soul stone, right? And if you hit his main HP bar, you're not going to do damage, because his soul stone gives it like 90% damage reduction. I don't know if that's the actual number, but it feels like it. So you break the soul stone, and then you attack the golem. Eventually he'll resummon his soul stone, and when that happens he just goes crazy. Don't yell at your tank if he's attacking random people, because you can't keep aggro anymore. He just hits whoever he wants. Anyways, you go through here, you got more trash. I'm getting tired, man. This trash, you pull the trash all the way up to this platform. You make sure to kill the head on top of the square. It's got barely any HP. It will die to like 2 or 3 AoE attacks. So make sure it's on the platform before you kill it. Otherwise it just gets back up and it's a waste of time. Alright, so here we are. We're moving on to the area with the puzzle. Alright, so if you fail the puzzle, it spawns this stuff, and if you get the puzzle correct, then it opens up the wall on the left side, and it gives you 3 or 4 chests with absolute garbage inside them. There's no minion, there's no mount, there's nothing. It's not even good glam. It's like a dagger. You guys should put a mount or a minion in there, and then people will actually do your stupid puzzles. Anyways, this is the last boss, okay? This is the Adjudicator. He's a big stone boy, and he summons little head stone boys. You know what we're gonna do in this fight? We're gonna ignore absolutely everything and just kill him, because it's a goddamn ARR boss. So mechanics are not a thing. We're just gonna step away from the lasers instead of killing the spawners. We're just gonna kill him, because the moment he's dead, we don't have to deal with the lasers anymore. So you just make him dead and it's done. Anyways, first boss, the Territor. He's a cool guy. I like his mechanic. He's got a doom. It can kill unsuspecting players. It's good stuff. Second boss is very bland. He's not terrible, he's just bland. Alright, final boss, also just bland. He's got mechanics, you just don't do them. The music is very generic, like you can hear it, boop 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 boop. It's boring, okay? Trash is great in here though. It's another one of those dungeons where you can just kind of pull wall to wall. The layout has the problem, is also fucking monochromatic. It's just stone walls everywhere. It's a very average dungeon. 0.44 out of 10. The only reason why this dungeon is good at all is because of the Territor, and that's just because it was an interesting fight way back when. And today, it's just very generic. But anyways, next dungeon. Alright. We are in Cutter's Cry. Alright, it is the Anthill dungeon. Alright, it's got Oasis. It's kind of cool. Alright, I like this dungeon. It's just, I don't like this dungeon because it's another generic stupid cave. But this was by far the longest one that it took to queue for. For some reason I was in queue for like 35 minutes before this dungeon would pop. It's because it's an optional dungeon and no one gives a shit about it. But it's the dungeon itself is not the good part of the dungeon. Alright, we'll get to the good part later. But the music is alright in here. Like, it's actually, it's kind of the same generic now that I think about it. Anyways, you kill the stuff, you go into the sand, and then you come out the other side and you do more trash. You do the same room twice. It's bleh, I don't know what to say. Like, the design is not good. You're in a cave, you got stones. Can we stop hanging out in caves for 5 minutes in ARR? Anyways, the second pack of trash, you have to wait for it to spawn and come in, and it's annoying. This trash pack's not bad because you can just kind of pull all the way to the first boss, which is this big mother ant, and she doesn't do anything, like, at all. Like, maybe she does something, but she's another one of those ARR bosses that are just not scaled well, and you just kill her before anything happens. And I think what's supposed to happen is she's supposed to summon an ad that comes out and then like shields her, and then you have to kill the ad. I don't know. Yeah, see, there's another ad over there, but the princess is dead. So yeah. See, they tethered, but you know, just gonna kill it, and who cares, right? It's a bad boss. It's a cool design. I'll give it that. It's a big ant. That's interesting, kinda, but there's no mechanics. You just stand there and hit the thing. Alright, now this is the part that I absolutely hate. I hate when tanks do this crap, okay? There's this trick that you can do in this dungeon where you pull all the monsters to the shifting sands, and the tank just runs through and clicks through everything, and all the monsters just de-aggro. But this never works, okay? It always gets somebody killed. Somebody always dies when they do this. So just kill the friggin' ads. It takes 10 seconds. Nobody dies. Nobody's confused. Just kill them. Who cares? Alright? Alright. That's my ramble. Anyways, if you do the trick, the tank will pull the boss in the next room, and it'll flash up, do you want to go to the next room, or do you want to get pulled to the arena, and you just click yes. But just kill the trash, okay? Just kill it. Who cares? Anyways, this next boss is a sandworm. It's got some annoying mechanic. It's kind of a cool boss, but like all it does is go underground, and then like these puffs of sand come up and go towards a player. And as long as you don't stand under those puffs, you shouldn't get hit. Apparently I was close enough that it was able to hit me, but I was nowhere near in front of it. You saw the footage. He also does this thing where he does a circle in the middle that pulls everyone in a little bit to try and hit him with that stuff more. Anyways, you go down and now you're in a cave again with the friggin' caves, man. Alright, this is a decent trash pull, I'll give it that. You pull all the way, and you can pull it all the way to the boss room if you want to, really. I wouldn't recommend it because the boss at the end of this dungeon is the reason why this dungeon doesn't suck, okay? Back in the day, this thing would end runs sometimes. People would quit because of this thing. Because it has like 1 or 2 mechanics that you just can't not stand in orange to get rid of, alright? So when its eyes glow blue, I think, it means it's gonna do ice around it, and it will deep freeze you and kill you. And when its eyes glow purple, you have to go in because it's gonna do a big donut. Anyways, I screwed up there, so you saw I got hit by the ice. It's very easy to mess up on this fight because at this point you're used to not doing anything. There's also this lightning orb. It will follow you and then eventually just stop. So you just kind of pull it out for a second, wait for it to catch up, and then, you know, circumvent it and go back in for the kill. Anyways, there, yeah, you see the big purple donut. So when it's yellow, or when it's the dragon's voice, you go in, and when it's the other one, I don't know, whatever. First boss is bad, second boss is bad, third boss is great. I love chimera monsters, alright? I will defend those monsters till the end. Music is generic crap. Trash is... If you can run past trash in a dungeon, it's not good, okay? The layout design, I mean... I think I've said it 100 times. It's just a cave. It's a generic monochromatic cave. It's boring. Difficulty-wise, the last boss can get you. All right, so it gets a couple of points. It doesn't lose as many points for being easy because the last boss will get you if you're not paying attention. Anyways, total 4.0. 4.0. Okay. We're in our final dungeon for this episode, and it is Stone Vigil. Ooh, big spooky dragon. Alright. So, Stone Vigil is the first dungeon where you kinda gotta watch yourself, alright? You need to have either a tank that's using cooldowns or a healer that is watching their HP, or you gotta go slow, and this tank decides to go slow. Like, we only get like one trash pack at a time, even though we're kinda like egging them on with our movement to try and make them keep going. As you can see, there's this green dragon that keeps dropping into the hall and breathing fire at you. You can dodge it if you're like super forward or super back, but it doesn't do that much damage. It's just kind of an annoyance. But yeah, this is the part I'm talking about where you kind of gotta be on the ball, right? Because the trash in here actually, like, they don't hurt for a lot, but because you can pull so much of it and they all hurt for like a little bit more than nothing, you can get overwhelmed. Anyways, you see the healer pull another trash pack because they're tired of waiting for the tank to pull more than one mob at a time. This is something I can tell to tanks, the new tanks especially. Just pull 2 trash packs, okay? If you don't know what the dungeon is and you don't have any experience in that dungeon, just pull 2 trash packs, okay? If you see people like continue down the hallway after you've pulled 2, you can either stand your ground or just keep pulling, but just at least pull 2 always. Anyways, this is the first boss. His name is Chudo or Chudyud or something like that. All he does is he runs across the arena back and forth, and then he turns around and he doesn't telegraph a cone. Okay, it's still a cone and it comes out of his face and it does damage. He just doesn't telegraph it, and that's basically it. Oh, he also uses Lion's Breath, which you can dodge as a tank or just tank it. It doesn't matter. Anyways, you come up here, you do more trash. Like the trash pulls in this area can actually be pretty thick. You gotta have a tank that will at least use Rampart, right? Like they gotta use something to try and slow the damage. And these are the real killers. These things, the ice sprites, not that set specifically, but later on there's a pack where you get like 6 of them, and they're all casting ice at the tank, and it'll chunk them if you're not paying attention. It's not dangerous to the average player, mind you, but to a new player, absolutely. This is the second boss. His name is Koshe or something like that. All he does is he tank busters the tank. He summons these tornadoes that crawl across the screen like exoflares. If you don't know what exoflares are, believe me, if you play this game long enough, you will. It's a really easy mechanic. Just don't get hit by the wind. Walk behind the wind after it goes past. Alright? This boss used to have cannons in it, and you used to have to shoot a dragon throughout the dungeon so it wouldn't shoot ice at you. You don't do that anymore. It's completely revamped this boss. And I think it's for the plus, because I think most people don't want to pull off their target to go click something else in the middle of a fight. That shit's annoying. Anyways, you kill that thing, treasure chest spawns, you do more trash. This is the hallway I'm talking about earlier with the double ice sprite pack. This tank he's a sprout tank, so I don't know, but you could be a little bit dangerous in a dungeon, alright? This is the only dangerous pack, is if you pull both ice sprites into this room. So this is the last boss. This is Gabind. He used to be, at least the name used to be, a pretty prominent endgame dragon in Final Fantasy XI. All he does is he'll fly away, and then he'll choose a lane, and he'll cleave it with ice, as you just saw. He's a cool guy. He just doesn't do very much. Something else he'll do is he'll float up in the air, and he'll drop circles on people, and then you gotta move, and then move again. Before, there used to be ice patches that would stay on the floor and continue to do ice damage while this stuff was going by, but they took that out. Something I like doing is I like standing on top of the healer or the other DPS when he picks you for the puddles, because then it freaks them out and they start trying to run away. But yeah, yucky Mine goes down super fast. Anyways, it's a pretty decent dungeon, alright? Its first boss is fine, the second boss is fine. yucky Mine is cool looking, he's a big blue dragon. Layout, I mean, you're just in a frozen, it's white and gray. That's the dungeon, white and gray, okay? It's not a good design. Difficulty, I mean, there are aspects of this dungeon that are harder than other dungeons, and there are aspects of this dungeon that are just completely flatline easy. So, like, it's just a basic 5, alright? It's fine. Music is just your generic urgency sound. Like trash, if you have a tank that will pull multiple packs and you have AoE, the trash in this dungeon is fine. Anyways, it's a 4.6 out of 10. It ties with Haukke Manor. Alright, so that was our scores for this week. As you can see, Haukke Manor and the other one, Stone Vigil. Yeah, Stone Vigil. They're kind of our leaders now at 4.6. Hopefully we get ourselves up to a 5.0 at least soon. But hopefully you enjoyed this episode, and if you want to know the scores for all the other dungeons, we're gonna go all the way to Dawntrail eventually. So give me that like and give me that subscribe. Anyways, thank you for watching. Bye bye.